Good evening, everybody. It's Storm here to bring another gaming news roundup. And with me, I brought my dear friend again, FireB360. Please say hello to the nice people.
What's up, everyone? Glad to be back after yet again invitation from StormRiderProject. Thank you for having me.
No problem. I know you feel not really feeling 100%, but don't worry, I will not keep you here for long. Alright? Like all the other news coverage that I have done, we'll start with the small news, then we get on to the big news. Without further ado, let's get on with it. Our first set of news that we got is, take this with a grain of salt. Embracer Group has reportedly sold the rights of Tomb Raider for a hefty sum, which I heard is $600 million. What do you think about that, Fire?
No small sum, but then again, never really surprised.
Mm.
You better bring the big bucks to acquire such a asset.
But I say this, I think Square Enix took a L on this because they sold sold their Western developers for 300 million. But the fact that Embracer Group is renting out Tomb Raider to Amazon for 600 million, yeah, I think Square Enix took a L on that one. In my opinion,
Depends on what they do with the IP.
yeah. I just say like they got more range to do like probably like a movies and stuff because it is reported that Amazon is publishing a new Tomb Raider game that Crystal Dynamics is making. That's one of the reasons why Marvel Avengers is being shut down.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens when that time comes. Our next set of news that we got is Fire. Let me ask you this question: how do you feel about cheaters?
I feel like if you have the need to cheat, then you should just play by yourself.
And I kind of like what Square Enix and Yoshi P have done when it comes to cheaters. I'm gonna give you the context. Apparently, in Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn, Yoshi P, who is the head person for that game, they put out a new raid, right? And they kind of do the thing what Bungie does when it comes to Destiny, like the first raiders group that beat it and stuff. But apparently, the team that first beat the raid for Final Fantasy 14 were using a third-party tools to get past it. So what I heard that Square Enix and Yoshi P have done, they stripped them of all the items they got during the raid, even though the team is still under investigation. They decide to remove them from being the first group to beat the raid, and they stripped them of all the items that they gotten.
I think it's fair.
Yeah, it's very much so. Like, to me, I wish other developers would do stuff like this when it comes to cheaters and stuff, because developers will have like these software that will block cheating and stuff. You can't 100% block it. There's always going to be a way to cheat in a game. I'm just kind of surprised they're cheating a Final Fantasy 14 game.
I'm not. Given the popularity
Yeah,
of the IP.
yeah, that is a very good point. Alright, I'm going to hit you with another question. When you look at Nintendo, right? What, when you see Nintendo, what video game character you think of?
Mario.
Alright, what video game character will you think of PlayStation?
Well, funny enough, a bunch kind of like pop in my head. Um, Shoot, it's actually difficult. I'm gonna say Kratos. Just,
Alright,
just to say one.
and for Xbox, who do you think of?
Chief, Master Chief.
Yeah. So it's kind of, when you think of those three giants, you think of Kratos, Mario, and Master Chief. And I don't know what the heck Xbox is doing with their. Well, I don't know what the heck 343 is doing with Microsoft's biggest IP. Well, I think. No, I was gonna say I don't think Halo is like their biggest game right now after what 343 have done with it. But nah, I can't really say that because if you really think about it, Halo is still a moneymaker. And the reason why I bring this up is because this comes from Jason Schreier. He have reported that what's going to happen to Halo in the future. He said the studio and franchise is essentially all but starting from scratch. At least 95 people have been let go from 343, and Halo is switching to Unreal Engine with the new game code name Tanaka, which some people believe is the Battle Royale. When I think about it, the only game I could think of that have to switch engine in mid development or so, I would have to say it was Kingdom Hearts 3 when they switched from the Square Enix in-house engine to the Unreal Engine. But the fact that 95 people got fired, Halo is starting from scratch. Uh, like this is sad to see what happened to Halo. Granted, I only play Halo 1 and 4. Have you ever played a Halo game?
Only one I ever played, start to finish, was Halo Reach. I had fun with it, but it didn't really convert me to a I would say not even a standard fan. I mean, I liked it. I definitely did because when I definitely don't like something, I cannot even finish it.
Yeah,
But yeah, just a casual player on it.
yeah. Say like the Halo lore is really good and stuff, but it's just the fact that how they dropped the ball. Like you're literally Bungie literally gave you the blueprint to do this game justice, and you just constantly fucking it up.
It's
Like
sad to see.
it is very sad to see. Um, and don't get us wrong. Like what I seen people say, Halo Infinite is a good game. Campaign is good, and the multiplayer is solid. The fact this game came out in 2021, and now we're in 2023, almost 2 years of Halo Infinite have been out, and the fact that the content in that game is so dry for what people are saying. And this actually leads to another news. A whole bunch of games as a service games are being shut down. The latest news we got was knockout Knockout City, which is that dodgeball game that me and you played with a couple of friends.
Yes, and some of the other clan members of the tribe.
Yeah. We also got Rumbleverse, which is like a wrestling battle royale game. I never played that one.
Also interested.
Yeah. And uh, I believe what last week or 2 weeks ago, Marvel Avengers shut down. Apex Mobile. It just like it. Can we honestly blame games because the game as a service is failing, or the people who is trying to reinvent the wheel are the failures?
It's hard to pinpoint who is the what is exactly failing here. But as how I see this, is that this at the very least liberates these studios to maybe move on to other projects that may fare better overall. Um, Live service games sometimes tie down studios a little too hard. And it can decrease their workforce on working on making more IPs. I feel like live service games can rob a studio of the potential to make something great. So I'm actually not too excuse uh, concerned or sad to see some of these live service games be discontinued. I
Mm,
think it can actually be a very positive thing.
mm. Really good point. But we also do gotta remember, PlayStation is planning to make game as a service games also, and that's one of the reasons why they bought Bungie, because they have expertise in game as a service. So I guess hopefully Bungie could lead the studio that PlayStation have to make a good games as a service game, but time will tell when we first get those. And our next set of news that we have is a little bit disappointing, it is, but it's not overall bad. Respawn has announced that Star Wars Jedi Survivor has been delayed, and they have put out a statement. The statement is read as, "For the last 3 years, the Jedi team here at Respawn has poured its collective heart and soul into Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and we are proud to say the next chapter in the tale of Cal Kestis is content complete. We are now focused entirely on the final stage bug fixes to enhance performance stability, polish, and more importantly, the player experience. Jedi Survivor is a direct response to the feedback from our community, delivering expensive destinations to explore, evolve combat, and traversal, and of course, the continuation of Cal and BD's story. Making this game has truly made us better team, and we have pushed ourselves to the very level to make this new Star Wars sequel our fans expect from Respawn. The new release date had been pushed to like 6 weeks and is now coming out on April 28th. And they end the message with, "May the Force be with you." How do you feel about Jedi Survivor being delayed, Fire?
I think this is the best kind of delay, just to ensure the best polish. That is plaguing a lot of games um, recently, and it's not a super bad one compared to others. It's not like they're pushing another year or anything. Um, in all honesty, I feel desensitized to delays. I feel like if something's not delayed, it's weird. So yeah, that's how I stand on delays as of
Yeah.
late.
Yeah, I can feel it. Yeah, I can understand that. At some point, when you hear a game get delayed, you just become immune to it. Like, I kind of hate when people always bring up the quote, uh, "a release, a, a early release." I think it goes by, "A early release game, a broken game is forever broken. A delay game will eventually get better." And sometimes that's not always the case. Even when a game gets delayed, it still end up broken.
Yes, it doesn't provide guarantees, but we can always hope that
Mm.
that extra time does do them good.
Yeah, so it's not all bad. To my knowledge, I think that's like the only game that I know of that's releasing in April, unless you count the Horizon Forbidden West DLC. But if we're talking about like actual full game, I think that's the only game releasing in April.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens to that. Um, the next news that I have is, this is kind of surprising to hear from Nintendo. This comes from IGN, have said that Nintendo has no heavy hitters after Zelda Tears of the Kingdom release on the Switch this year, which is kind of surprising to hear because uh well, granted, we still don't know what's going on with Metro Prime 4, which when did that game got? revealed like a couple of years ago now, and we still have nothing for it. So I guess the fact that the only heavy hitter game that Nintendo releasing is the next Zelda game is kind of surprising to hear. What do you think?
I think it's completely right. Um, in terms of hype, definitely. Um, they do have other heavy hitters, so to speak. They do have other franchises, but they do normally pump out games more often. So that's why um, people can get a little more used to them. So the hype train is a little less so. But yes, the Tears of the Kingdom is definitely have a really big anticipation. So I can see that.
Yeah, I can see. Especially at the Game Awards, it did win the most anticipated Game Award. I still say Spider-Man should have been on that list, but that's neither here nor there. Alright, now those are the small news that we have gotten. Now we're going on to the big news. Our first big news, PlayStation had this big old blowout on sales. Like all their stocks is up, their sales is up. Right now the PS5 is at 32.7 million lifetime sales. Santa Monica Studios announced God of War is at sold 11 million in less than 3 months of its release. So it's like after when the whole chip shortages have ended, PlayStation are really about to blow out now. I now fire after hearing that God War Ragnarok have hit 11 million sold, right? And to our knowledge, the next as of now, PlayStation next first party game to release this year is Marvel Spider-Man 2, right?
Oh yeah.
Do you think Marvel Spider-Man 2 will beat God War Ragnarok's sales record?
Ooh, that's just too difficult
Be-
to tell. Um,
Because
the
they did.
audience, the audience for each game can differ greatly. So yeah, it's just very difficult to tell.
Yeah, because it is a strong possibility because when God of War released in 2018, it sold 3.1 million in 3 days, right? Then Marvel Spider-Man came out and that sold 3.3 million in 3 days. Then The Last of Us Part 2 came and that sold 4 million. Then God of War, well, when God of War Ragnarok came out, it sold 5 million in a week. But now we're seeing it hit 11 million. It's gonna be very difficult for Marvel Spider-Man 2 to do that. If Marvel Spider-Man 2 could beat that number in a short amount of time, I think Insomniac should be the number one studio that PlayStation owns, dethroning Naughty Dog.
Hmm.
Because we gotta remember, Spider-Man is a big name. Just the Spider-Man alone is a very big game.
Oh yeah.
So it'll be interesting. Like, granted, I low key kind of hate this because I always see Lori Lonthal and Najee tweeting about the crazy stuff that's gonna happen in Marvel Spider-Man 2, and
Huh.
this stemmed from a tweet from Tony Todd. If you don't know who Tony Todd is, he's the original Candyman, and he is playing as Venom in Marvel Spider-Man 2. he tweeted out something. I didn't read what he tweeted, but I think right now he's most likely doing mocap stuff, right?
Okay.
He tweeted out something. Yuri Lowenthal, the voice actor for Spider-Man Peter Parker, saying said like, yo, this is gonna be crazy. And Najee, who is the voice actor for Miles, retweeted saying they have no idea. I'm like, stop. You're dangling something I want in my face, but you're keeping it out of reach. Stop teasing me. I hate the teasing.
Don't tease us.
You're playing with my emotions right now.
There's no need.
Yeah. But staying on the topic of Insomniac, apparently we got some, take this with a grain of salt, some information involving Marvel Wolverine, which is kind of surprising because we don't know nothing about this game. We don't know who's going to be playing as Logan, where does this take place and stuff. But apparently, this comes from a pretty knowledgeable source. This comes from a person named Jeff Grubb, right?
All right.
I believe he works. I believe he does work for Giant Bomb. At least I saw some people say, and people say he's a reliable source. And I'm starting to believe it because he was the one who said that EA was making an Iron Man game. And next thing you know, a week later, EA announced a Iron Man game.
Hmm.
So he does have some credibility. I'm I'm not gonna say he's 100% credible because he also did say that there was gonna be a Black Panther game, and so far that have not been confirmed or denied yet. So until I see that turn out to be true, I say he's a knowledgeable source. But the fact that he got the Iron Man thing right, I'm giving him some credit. So this is what he had to say. He said that the Marvel Wolverine being made by Insomniac is going to be a rated M, is what they're going for.
Hmm.
He said they're going for a rated M.
Hell yeah.
It it will also avoid anything has to do with the Fox movies.
Good.
And they said the setting. He said the setting. He heard it. It will start before Wolverine joins the X-Men.
Huh. Makes sense.
And he said he heard two different release dates. He said it could come out as early as fall 2024, or but he also heard Insomniac is talking about a 2025 release.
Hmm. They can take all the time they need.
And granted, that is very true. And I did hear somewhere that apparently, like how uh, we have seen the Marvel Spider-Man games, they will have those after credits, right? And we see one from the Marvel Spider-Man and Miles Morales, right? He said, I heard that for Marvel Spider-Man 2 after credit scene, we will see Logan, because I believe they said it in one of the blog posts where Marvel Wolverine was announced that Wolverine and Spider-Man, they exist in the same universe.
Hmm.
So, oh,
I mean, it's fine. Cause We know that the Avengers also exist in that universe. They have their tower and everything.
Yeah, but but you gotta remember in Marvel Spider-Man, there was no reference to any X-Men.
Hmm.
At least I don't remember.
Me neither. I know the Avengers did, Black Panther did, Jessica Jones, and Daredevil.
And Iron Fist,
Yes, and Iron Fist.
yeah, and Doctor Strange. So other than
Yes.
them,
Yeah.
I don't recall any reference to X-Men in general.
No. All the other references were to other villains that didn't make it into the game.
Because granted, wasn't Marvel Spider-Man before Disney bought X-Men?
No idea, to be honest.
Is I would, I if Disney did bought X-Men when Marvel Spider-Man came out, I would probably say they probably made the development of Marvel Spider because we didn't see the reveal of Marvel Spider-Man until 2016. And I think Disney bought X-Men, I want to say like 2017, 2018. Somewhere along those lines. I honestly can't remember from the top of my head. But either way, the fact that a potential after credit that has Logan, and also he said something like it's not an open world, but it would have hub worlds like how God of War did it.
Hmm.
Which, my opinion, it makes the more sense because I don't see how an open world Wolverine game will work unless you have this dude riding his motorcycle everywhere.
Yeah. You would definitely need a very expensive world.
Yeah. Well, either way, I'm hoping they do knock this game out of the park when it comes to Wolverine, because since what we've seen, how they did Spider-Man, I have no doubt that Marvel Spider-Man 2 will outdo Marvel Spider-Man. But the fact that we haven't gotten a M-rated Wolverine game since X-Men Origins, and that was since the PS3 and 360 era. So if Insomniac would manage to top that, shoot, give them the whole Marvel universe. Like, you want to have a Marvel character to have his own game, go to Insomniac.
Yes, definitely.
But granted, I don't only want them to only make Marvel games. So that's neither here or there. Alright, the next news, well, this would be our final news that we have. The big three will not be at E3 this year. And what I mean by the big three, it was reported that Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation will not be at E3 this year. I always wanted to go to E3 at some point, but now, hey man, what can you do? How you feel about this, Fire?
Hmm. Honestly, the signs were there. That was about to happen. So, not really surprised. Um, Maybe the only reason why there might be a little surprise factor is the fact that it just kind of happened, boom, all of a sudden.
Yeah. Because granted, Nintendo was the first one to not be at E3 since they started doing their Nintendo Direct type of thing. Then after 20, I believe it was the start of 2018 or after that, PlayStation stopped doing E3 also, and that's when we got State of Play. Then last but not least, now we have Microsoft, who was the last one who always been attending E3. But I guess now they decided they could do their own type of show. They don't need E3. And yeah, this is very surprising to hear, to see. I'm still good. Like at this point, some people will argue, what's the point to even watch an E3? Personally, I think for me, I'm probably gonna still watch E3 just to see what Square Enix is gonna do. Like, is there like a specific reason that you will watch E3 Fire?
Hmm, it's definitely less unlikely now, but I'm kind of very intrigued what they're gonna come up with now that they don't have the big three.
Yeah, it kind of interesting how it's gonna play out. But I have to say this: Jeff Keighley, he's a savage because you know what he did after news came out that PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo won't be at E3. Immediately, a tweet for Summer Game Fest got tweeted.
Huh.
Like, damn, like savage,
Yeah,
pure, pure,
definitely.
pure savage. He got to have some type of hatred.
Maybe. Who knows? Difficult to tell.
Yeah. Alright, to close out this video, even though we're only 2 months into this year, Fire, is there any like your number one game that you're looking forward to play, or if there's like a game that's about to come out that you're excited to play?
Probably shouldn't have said that last line. Of course, Hogwarts Legacy comes out in barely 2 days. I'm excited.
Yeah. So my even though I'm not like a big, even though I'm not like a hardcore fan like how you are, like you have crazy Harry Potter knowledge. I'm excited to play an RPG Harry Potter game that's not following the movies.
I'm ready to go back to a proper Hogwarts. Haven't been to one since Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban back in the PS2, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. So for me, I think you already know what it is. It's FS16. I don't care. I'll I'll scream it from the
Hey,
heavens.
if you got a theme, you got a theme, man. If you like something, you like it. It's fine. I'm no one ever to judge anybody about having a theme. I mean, it's in my name, so
Yeah. Well, thank you for being us on the video. There might be a time in the future I might call you upon again.
no problem. Thank you for having me. Even though I'm a little under the weather, it was still a good opportunity yet again.
Yeah. Well, that's the gaming news rundown for this week. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend and have a good night. Take care.
Till next time.